Okay. Uh, Hello students. So in the last class we have discussed the phylum Porifera and Coelenterata. So next we'll move on to the another phylum, phylum Ctenophora. Okay. So phylum Ctenophora, a very it's a small phylum which includes 100 species. Generally, it is represented by the. It includes 100 species. Right. Generally, they are marine, pelagic, and the free-swimming solitary organisms. Okay. So, what type of organization does the Ctenophora exhibits? They exhibit the tissue grade of organization. Okay. Ctenophores, they exhibit tissue grade of organization. Then symmetry. So again, so far we have studied that Porifera, they exhibit symmetry as well as the radial symmetry, and the Coelentrates, they exhibit radial symmetry, but whereas in case of Ctenophora, they exhibit biradial symmetry. Biradial symmetry means it's a combination of both bilateral symmetry and the radial symmetry. Bilateral and radial symmetry. So it's known as biradial symmetry. It's a combination of both bilateral and the radial symmetry. Okay. Next comes the body wall. So again, ctenophores, they are the diploblastic animals. You already know that what you mean by diploblastic. So generally, they are made up of two germ layers, outer ectoderm and inner is the endoderm. So again, in between these two layers, the non-cellular jelly layer is present, which is known as mesoglea. Okay, they are diploblastic. Next comes the another important characteristic feature of Ctenophora is the presence of special cells, which is known as coloblast. So what do you mean by coloblast and what are its functions? We will see now. Coloblasts are nothing but they are the special adhesive cells. Generally they are found in the epidermis of the tentacles. Okay, they are present in the epidermis of the tentacles of the ctenophores. Generally, they helps in the food capturing. The function of this coloblast is it helps for the food capturing. The presence of the coloblast is a characteristic feature of the ctenophore. Okay. So next comes the body cavity. So again here, in case of ctenophores, generally they don't have any body cavity. That is, the body cavity is absent. So you already know that if the body cavity is absent means we call it as a coelomate animals. Fine. So ctenophores are coelomates. That is, they don't have any body cavity. Next comes the locomotion. So what type of locomotion does the ctenophore use? Means generally here, in case of ctenophore, they are having 8 external rows of the ciliated comb plates. Right. Generally the comb plates they are commonly held for the locomotion. Okay. Next comes the digestion. So again here, ctenophore, the digestion will take place both extracellular as well as the intracellular. So you already know that what do you mean by extracellular and intracellular, where does it take place in detail, we have already studied. Fine. So here in case of ctenophores, again the digestion, it is by both the method. One is extracellular and the other one is the intracellular. Next comes the special property of the ctenophore, that is the bioluminescence. So generally here ctenophores, they emit the light. Generally they emit the light, or the property of the living organisms to emit the light. It is commonly known as bioluminescence. Ctenophores, it is one of the important character, the special property of the ctenophore is the emit the light. Generally they will emit the light. Okay. So ctenophores, they are the marine, pelagic and solitary animals with tissue grade of organization. Right. Then what type of symmetry they exhibit? They exhibit biradial symmetry. Then they are the diploblastic animals. Then they are having these special adhesive cells which is found in the epidermis of the tentacles. Fine. So generally they are commonly known as coloblasts, which helps in the food capturing. Next comes the body cavity. Here in case of ctenophores, they do not have any body cavity. They are coelomate animals. Locomotion. So generally here comb plates are there which helps in the locomotion. Next comes the digestion, and the exhibit digestion is by both the method. One is extracellular and the one is the intracellular. Then they are the bioluminescent animals, means they emit the light. Okay, so next we will move to the other properties. So next we'll move on to the another character of phylum Ctenophora. So again here you can see that in case of Ctenophora, the skeletal system, respiratory system, excretory system and the circulatory system, the organs are not yet developed, they are the primitive. But when compared to the nervous system, again here the nervous system, it is consists of network of subepidermal plexus which is connected to form 8 strands behind the comb plates. Okay, behind the comb plates or the comb rows, generally it is consists of epidermal plexus which are compacted to form the 8 strand. Okay, and it is also made up of sense organs. So generally it is known as statocyst, which help for the equilibrium or for the balancing of the body. They are made up of special sense organs, which is known as statocyst for equilibrium. Okay. Next comes the reproduction. So again here, ctenophores generally they reproduce by sexual method. So here asexual method is absent. They generally reproduce by sexual method. And the fertilization is external. So you already know the difference between external fertilization and internal fertilization. In case of ctenophores, the fertilization is external and the development is indirect with the larval stage, which is known as sediped larva. Okay. Next, another important feature of ctenophore is regeneration and pediogenesis. Regeneration and the pediogenesis. So you already know what do you mean by regeneration. The regaining of the lost part of the body is known as regeneration. Then another important is that pediogenesis. So what do you mean by pediogenesis? It is nothing but the reproduction by sexual mature larva, usually without fertilization. Okay, without fertilization, the sexual mature larva is produced. That it is commonly known as pediogenesis. Fine. So these are some of the important characteristic features of the phylum Ctenophora. So just we'll have a glance once. So generally phylum Ctenophora, what is the characteristic feature of the Ctenophora is that emit the light. Fine, which is commonly known as bioluminescence. Then they are having important that is special organs which is known as statocyst, which generally help for the balancing or the equilibrium. Then another one is the presence of the chloroplast, right? Whereas skeletal system, respiratory system and excretory system, circulatory system, they are not yet developed. And when it comes to the reproduction, so generally here they reproduce by sexual method. Or sexual method is absent and the development is indirect. Fertilization is external. Fine. So another important is that they exhibit regeneration and the pediogenesis. So you already know the difference between these two. Pediogenesis means reproduction by sexually mature larvae, usually without fertilization. Fine. So these are some of the characteristic features of the phylum Ctenophora. So next comes to the classification. So again here classification, generally they are classified into two classes. Class 1, it is Tentaculata. Example is Hermophora and the Pleurobrachia. Examples you have to keep in mind, at least one example. And the class 2 is the Nuda. Example is Biro. Okay, so these two are the classification. Just you have to remember the name and the example. Okay, so next we'll move on to the another phylum, phylum Platyhelminthes. Okay. So phylum Platyhelminthes, platy means flat, helminthes means worms. So generally they are known as flat worms. Platyhelminthes, so they are commonly known as flat worms, and generally they are characterized by the dorso-ventrally flattened worms. Okay. Dorso-ventrally flattened, leaf-like body. Okay, both dorsally as well as ventrally they will be flat. Fine. So this platyhelminthes, you can see that they are present in the freshwater form, freshwater, marine. Some of them are found in the moist soil, and some of them are free living, and some of them are parasitic form. Almost in all the habitats, you can see that this platyhelminthes are adopted. Either it may be in the freshwater or in the marine water. Some of them are seen in the free living form, and some of them are the parasitic form. Okay, so let us move to the characteristic features. What are the general characteristic features exhibited by the phylum Platyhelminthes? So first comes the grade of organization. So here Platyhelminthes, they exhibit the organ system grade of organization. So far from Porifera to Ctenophora, we have studied that they exhibit cellular level grade of organization, tissue grade of organization. Right, so now Platyhelminthes, they exhibit organ system grade of organization. Organ system grade of organization. And next comes the symmetry. They exhibit bilateral symmetry. So you already know that bilateral symmetry, when we cut it from the central axis, the body can be divided into two equal halves. Right? That is known as bilateral symmetry. So platyhelminthes, they exhibit bilateral symmetry. Then what about the body covering? So generally here you can see that they have this single layer. In case of free living form, the body is covered by the single layer of epidermis, whereas in case of the parasites, the body is covered by the cuticle. Parasites, the body is covered by the cuticle. Fine. Next comes the body wall. Again here, platyhelminthes, they are the triploblastic animals. So you already know that what do you mean by triploblastic. They are made up of three germ layers: outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, and middle is the mesoderm. Right? Three germ layers. Triploblastic means three germ layers. Outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm, and inner is the endoderm. Fine. So platyhelminthes, they are made up of, they are the triploblastic animals. Next comes the body cavity. So again here you will not find any body cavity. The coelom is absent. So if the coelom is absent, means generally we call it as a coelomate animals. Next comes the digestive system. So again here in case of platyhelminthes, the digestive system is incomplete. So you know the difference between the complete digestive system and the incomplete digestive system. Right, so here platyhelminthes, they have got incomplete digestive system. That is generally how it starts with the mouth and it starts with highly branched anus. Fine. Next comes the respiratory system. Again it is by the simple method generally. Respiratory organs are absent. They don't have any well specialized respiratory organs, but instead of that, generally in the free living form, it takes place by the simple method, that is diffusion. Generally respiration, it takes place by the diffusion. Okay, so these are some of the characteristic features. Just we'll have a glance. So platyhelminthes, platy means flat, helminthes means worms. So they are commonly known as flat worms. Fine. So generally they are characterized by the dorso-ventrally flattened worms, which are seen in almost all the habitats, like they are seen in the freshwater, marine form, some are free living and some are the parasitic form. They exhibit organ system grade of organization, and they are bilateral symmetrical animals. And here in the free living form, the body is covered by single layer epidermis, whereas in case of parasitic form, it is covered by the cuticle. Then body wall, they are the triploblastic animals with three germ layers: outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, and middle mesoderm will be present. Then body cavity, they are the coelomate animals. That is, you will not find any body cavity which is present between the body wall and the alimentary canal. Next, digestive system. So digestive system is again it is incomplete, and the respiratory system, you will not find any well developed respiratory organs. So respiratory organs are absent. But generally in free living form, it takes place by simple method which is known as the diffusion. Okay. So next we'll move on to the remaining characters of phylum Porifera. So platyhelminthes. Nervous system. So here in case of platyhelminthes, generally the nervous system is ladder type. Means it consists of anterior nerve ganglia. Anterior nerve ganglia means ganglia is nothing but the collection of nerve cells. Okay, the collection of nerve cells which is commonly known as the ganglia. So here the nervous system, it generally looks like a ladder type. Looks like a ladder type. Okay. So next comes the excretory system. So again here, in case of platyhelminthes, they have got special cells which is known as selenocytes or flame cells. They are commonly known as the excretory structure. Next comes the reproduction. So again here, platyhelminthes, they will reproduce sexually. They reproduce sexually and they are hermaphrodites. So you already know that what you mean by hermaphrodites and the heteraphrodites. So hermaphrodites means where both the sex organs are developed in the single organism. Fine. That is one organism is capable of giving birth here. That is they are the hermaphrodites and the reproduction will take place sexually, and asexual reproduction is you will not find here. Next comes the fertilization is internal and the development is either direct or the indirect. Both the developments you can see in the platyhelminthes. Okay. So examples you have to keep in mind, that is Taenia, the tapeworm, and the planaria. Fine. So again here planaria, it is the important characteristic feature is that it is known for the regeneration. Okay, that's about the characteristic features. So keep in mind, in case of platyhelminthes, the nervous system is ladder type, which is made up of nerve ganglia. Then excretory system, it consists of flame cells. Then reproduction, it will reproduce sexually, and the fertilization is internal and the development is direct or indirect. Fine. Then when it comes to the classification, platyhelminthes, they are classified into three classes. One is Tribularia, Trematoda and Cystoda. Okay. So class 1 is the Tribularia, example is Planaria. And the class 2 is Trematoda, example is Fasciola hepatica or the river flow. And the third one is the Cystoda, example is Taenia solium. Fine. So these are the classes, classification of the phylum Platyhelminthes. So that's about the phylum Platyhelminthes. So far today we are discussed with phylum Ctenophora and the Platyhelminthes.